guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a March TBR video. I am so excited to be doing this. I have my trusty little cup right here that has a K for Kaylee. There are so many different prompts in here that we're going to be pulling out. I'm pulling out 6 different prompts. So based on these prompts, it could be something from our 26 books that we want to read in 2026. It could be a new release. It could be something that's just on my shelf that I want to read that I haven't read yet. It could be a reread. It could be so many different things. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and pull 6 out of here because I want to read 6 books for the month of March. March is a very busy month for me. My birthday's in March. There's a lot of stuff going on with my work in March. So I just only want to pull 6 and we're going to see how we do from there. All right. So here is our TBR jar and let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing I'm going to do is just pull out 6 and then we're going to look at the 6 that I've pulled. As you can see, I have them all wrapped up in here. There's a bunch of different prompts. They're all in almost sticky notes. They're kind of sticking together because it's sticky notes, but it'll be fine. So we're going to pull it out. I'm not going to look at it and then we're going to go and grab all the books together. All right, so first pull. I feel like I grabbed more than one. All right, there's one. It unfolded. Okay. Second one. So 2. All right, let's see. I pulled out all 6 prompts. Some of them are even unfolded, but we're gonna look at them and see. Okay, let's look at this one. So this one, it just says fantasy. So we're going to pull a fantasy book. And we'll just kind of pick that out together, which ones we think we want to do. So fantasy, a mystery or thriller, okay. One book from the 26 TBR. Ooh, one series from the 26 TBR. So I have a bunch of series that I also included on my TBR. That does not mean I'm going to read the entire series for March, but I'll pick one either that I'm continuing for 26 or one of the ones that I haven't started yet. So we'll see how that goes. Romance. And one we actually got an actual title for. It's called Ugly Love. So I got to go and find that. I'm looking at my shelves. I have no idea where it's at on my shelves, but we're going to find that. And then we're going to get all the rest of the books and I'll come back to y'all. Alright guys, so I have picked 6 books for our TBR. This is currently the stack that I have pulled. We're going to go through each of them together. I put this sticky note with each book so I wouldn't forget why I pulled that book. And so this is the first one. This one is our romance book that I picked. It's called Your Knife, My Heart. It's fantasy, but also romance. I'm a big romance and fantasy reader. And so majority of things I have is fantasy or romance. This book I actually picked up with one of my best friends. We really like the edges. It has knives and a lighter on it. I don't know what it signifies. We're going to find out. I haven't really heard a lot of people talking about this book, but it's a duology, I believe. We bought both books because of the sprayed edges, but I am very excited about reading this one. So I'm going to read the little summary about it because I haven't really heard a lot of people talking about it. And so I don't think it's that popular yet. It's called Your Knife, My Heart by K.M. Moranova. Okay. Dark, deadly, irresistible. Cameron Mortem has a problem. He can't stop killing his partners. Officially labeled clinically insane, he's also one of the most lethal assets in the Dark Forces. A brutal underground military operation built on obedience, survival, and silence. But an experimental drug has fractured his control, making him a liability whenever someone else is on the field. As punishment, he's thrown back into the under trials, a merciless boot camp designed to break the weak and sharpen the ruthless. His one directive, don't kill the new girl. Emery Maves narrowly escapes a death sentence after her own brutal crimes, only to find herself forced into the same violent world. Assigned to Cameron, she's expected to survive the trials and her partner's unstable nature. But Emery quickly realizes there's more to Cameron than the bloodlust and body counts. Beneath the madness lies a terrifying allure and a strange, dangerous tenderness. As the trials push them to their limits, Emery must navigate the brutal demands of the Dark Forces while resisting the pull of a man who could just as easily kill her as protect her. And Cameron must fight the urge the one urge she's never been able to overcome. Their bond is intoxicating, chaotic, and born of violence. And if it doesn't destroy them both, it might just save them. And then we really love the inside of the book because all throughout it, like, we have amazing, beautiful, like, art throughout it. And, like, I'm in love. Like, well, I'm assuming he smokes, and that's why we have the lighter on the edges. And it also comes with a playlist. So, like, I might listen to the playlist while I'm reading it just to see. And then there also is a content warning. I'm not sure what it's about or anything, but don't forget your triggers, you know. So this is book 1 of our TBR for the month of March. I am very excited. The next book that I chose is one series from 26 TBR, and I chose Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. So this is what, book 2, I think, in this world. I read the first book and then I never continued it. I love the first book. I have no reason not to. This series is based on, like, single dads. This one, I believe, is about, oh, what's his name? West. His name is West. That's what it was. He's very, like, flirtatious and everything. And I believe he gets a second chance with the person he was married to, who he's had kids with. And so I believe that's what it's about. Don't quote me on that. But I'm excited to read this book and see what it's about. I love Elsie Silver. I don't know why I didn't continue the series. I think it's because it was summer when I read the first book and I didn't want to read it not in the summer. But March is close enough. So we're going to read this one next. The third book we picked was Ugly Love. So Ugly Love was just a title that literally was on there. So we're going to read Ugly Love. It still has a sticker on it. I don't know about it. It's by Colleen Hoover. I've never read it, but I've heard good things about it. And so we're going to read this. I've heard, there's a lot of people that say something about this book, like good things, nothing bad. And so we're going to flip to a random page and we're going to read a random quote. Okay. Cap steps into the elevator and presses the button for the 20th floor. Well, I suppose you can walk me home, he says. And that's it. All right, so that was our random quote. So we'll see how this book goes. I am kind of excited about this one just because it's been on my TBR for so long. I don't know why I haven't read it yet, but it's just one of those that I haven't. So we'll see how this one goes. The next book was one I soft DNF'd, mainly because I forgot I was reading it, but it's a fantasy book. And honestly, I really loved this book while I was reading it, so I don't know why. I think I just got out of the fantasy mood. But this was the fantasy that I picked up. It's called A Broken Blade by Melissa Blair. She's an assassin. There's a boy. There's always a boy, I believe. I believe there's a boy. She's an assassin who works for the king. And that's really all I really remember. But she's hunting down, that's what it was. She was hunting down somebody, and they're called the Shadow. And I think he ends up being the Shadow. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I love the cover of this. Like, the eyes, like, they, like, glisten. I don't know if y'all can see it. Just a little detailing and everything. All right, the next book is our mystery / thriller. It is Forget Me Not by Stacey Willingham. This was one of the books I got for Book of the Month. I love Book of the Month. I just haven't had a chance to read this one yet. I'm gonna read the little summary just so y'all can kind of know about it. Just because I don't feel like this one's as popular, but it might be, and I'm just, living under a rock. 22-year-old Claire Campbell's older sister Natalie disappeared shortly after her 18th birthday. Days later, her blood was found in a car. A man was arrested, and the case was swiftly closed. In the decades since, Claire has attempted to forget her traumatic past by moving to the city and climbing the ranks as an investigative journalist, until an unexpected call from her father forces her to come back home and face it all anew. With the entire summer now looming ahead, a summer spent with nothing to do in her childhood home with her estranged mother, Claire decides on a whim to accept a seasonal job at Galloway Farm, a Mustang vineyard in coastal South Carolina, less than an hour away where she grew up. At first glance, Galloway is an idyllic escape for Claire, a scenic retreat full of slow-paced nostalgia, as well as a place where her sister seemed truly happy in that last summer before she vanished. It feels like the perfect plan to pass the time. However, as soon as Claire starts to settle in, she stumbles across an old diary written by one of the vineyard's owners, and when it first seems like a story of young rebellion and love, turns into something much more sinister as it begins to describe details of various unsolved crimes. As the days stretch on, Claire finds herself becoming more and more secluded as she starts to obsess over the diary's contents, as well as lingering feeling that her own sister's disappearance may be somehow tied to it all. Gallo was supposed to be a place to help her move forward, but instead Claire quickly finds herself immersed in her own dark and dangerous past. So I'm very excited about this one. I love a good mystery and thriller, so I'll probably read this one like at night before I go to bed. Our last book on our TBR is one book from 2026 TBR, and I chose Silver Elite by Danny Francis. I have not read this book yet. I have wanted to read this one so bad, and I just have never been able to pick it up. I love the sprayed edges. I've heard such mixed reviews about it, but I really want to read it. And so that's what we're doing in March. We're going to be reading this book. We're doing it. We're locking in. We are doing this. We're going to be reading a random quote out of this book. I don't know. I guess I'm in the same place you were on Liberty Day. Tired of it all. Pretending to be normal. Hiding what I am. It's draining. There's a long pause. Every day I feel like I'm losing a part of myself. So those are the 6 books that we chose for our March TBR. I am so excited to be reading them. We are going to be doing it together. I hope to be posting some vlogs soon just so you can kind of see me read and do all that. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.